Okay, so a conversation that I had with a client today reminded me of something that happened years ago, and now I'm here to share that same story with you because it's so powerful. So it happened years ago, right? I was working with a really powerful coach called Tim Gallway. He sometimes people call him the granddad of coaching. He's an older man, and he used to be a tennis coach. He had a body of work. He wrote a series of books called the Inner Game series, and I found his work through his book called The Inner Game of Tennis, a powerful book that was recommended by my coach at the time, who told me that you really should read this book, and it blessed me so much that I got in touch with Tim, and a whole series of miracles happened, and I got to work with him on his executive coaching program. So it was a real privilege to work with this man. He used to be a tennis coach in his past. So part of the training that I was involved in with him happened on the tennis court. He found principles of coaching in the game of tennis. And so we had to go along to this tennis court with a group of people. And the whole point of the exercise that he took us through was to show us practically his theory that there are two selves that we have, this self one and self two. He said the self one is sort of all up in the head. The self one overthinks this, like the self one gets so preoccupied that doing the thing could easily get messed up. In this case, he was talking about hitting the ball, right? He said that he noticed that his clients got so all up in their heads that they would miss the ball. But he told me about this self too, that you had this other self that was a genius, that knew exactly what to do. He was talking about the self that just knew how to adjust itself, move at speed, respond to the ball with elegance, and hit perfectly. There was this self too that knew how to do things, but self one was so prominent, so dominant that it would mess up the ability of self to hit the ball. So, in order to prove this to us, he matched us up in pairs, and um, he told us to do one thing, catch. No. He told us to do one thing. He told us to throw the ball to our opponent, and that opponent was to not bother, not get all up in their heads about catching the ball. Instead, they just want to note that the task was to notice what my hand was doing as the ball was coming towards me. Just focus on your hand. Like what he's trying to do is distract self one from going, I've got to hit the ball, I've got to hit the ball, I've got to hit the ball. No, you don't have to hit the ball. All I want you to do, he said, is just notice where you put your hands. So invariably, what was supposed to happen and what actually did happen, if you give it a chance, is that when you just focus on your hands, actually when the ball starts coming towards you, it's like a reflex kicks in, and you know how to put yourself, you know how to catch a ball. I'm explaining all that, but it hasn't actually got anything to do with the story, because here's what happened. When I threw the ball to my partner and he dropped the ball, I would say sorry. And it happened every time. My partner just couldn't get it. Like he kept dropping the ball, right? And every time he dropped the ball, I said, sorry. I didn't realize I was doing it. The way that I realized I was doing it was when Tim Gallway, who was standing right just a couple of meters away from me, every time that I said sorry, he'd say, no, sorry. He said it so quietly, it was almost inaudible. He was standing like just there. And every time I said sorry, he'd say, no, sorry. He didn't touch me. He didn't shout. He didn't vie for my attention. He would, every time I said sorry, he'd say, no, sorry. So it took me a little while to catch on to this no, sorry. It took me a little while to work out that he was even saying it. And then when I heard him saying it, I wondered, what is it he's saying? And then after wondering a while what he's saying, I started to notice, I think he's talking to me. And then I think, oh my God, he's saying no, sorry. What does he mean? And then it happened again. Sorry. No, sorry. It's like I can remember the moment when my ears opened up. I just saw this whole thing open up before my eyes. I noticed all of a sudden that I was saying sorry for the ball, for the guy dropping the ball. I was saying sorry, and I didn't know that I was doing that before, and I didn't realize that Tim was pointing it out before. And then all of a sudden, I did realize. All of a sudden, I did realize what I was doing and saying, and what was coming at me, what Tim was saying. Like all of a sudden, it's just like I became very conscious and aware of the whole thing. And immediately I see that. I see, oh my God, I'm saying sorry when he's dropping the ball. It didn't take long for the realization to evolve and expand to, well, where else am I saying sorry for things that are not mine, nothing to do with me? Where else? And I begin to see, like, all of a sudden, my eyes were just opened up to this way that I had of apologizing for just being in the vicinity, like, just apologizing for being me, being there, being, I don't know, present when you mess up. And it was a huge revelation in my life. Huge, huge. This tendency to apologize when he dropped the ball wasn't just happening in that exercise on the tennis court, it was happening in my life. And Tim Gallway's little no sorry, no sorry was the thing that alerted me to it. And today I'm just thinking about that story so fondly because I realized the power of an insight. Like that was what was happening in my coaching call today. Like powerful insights were dropping so that, she can't hear me. I'm saying something. I'm saying something. I'm responding to her like Tim was responding to me. No, sorry. But she just couldn't hear me until she could. And I saw her get it. I saw it take her breath away. I saw it hit her like lightning and move her to realization and move her to understanding and oh my God, like aha moment. And oh, it was just so beautiful. I'm telling you this because it's so powerful to give yourself the gift of insight that comes through coaching, through life. It comes through life, but particularly it comes through coaching. And it's so important, isn't it? Because oftentimes we've got no idea who we're being or how we're behaving or what we think of ourselves. Like oftentimes there's a saying, isn't there, that you can't see the picture while you're in the frame. And so it really helps to have somebody alongside you going, no, sorry, no, sorry. Somebody who can see what you're doing because you can't. And somebody who can understand what a gift it will be if you catch this revelation. And somebody who could co-facilitate the birthing of the insight. That's what's available in coaching, and I'm so excited about it. And I just want you to experience that. I want all of us to experience that as women who are being called to be a new kind of powerful at such a time as this in senior leadership. There is this need for those of us who are doing the work to really get to see how it is that we're being in leadership and create shifts so that we embody our highness, create shifts so that we come from a higher place, that we see where we're functioning in our little selves and we make the shifts. We see what the shifts, we understand the shifts that need to take place in order for us to occupy and and come from and embody our high place, our highness, our high version of ourselves. Do you see what I mean? So, because I care so much about these insight moments, I'm opening up 12 slots over Christmas for 1 hour coaching sessions. For those of you who have been watching my work for a while, thinking about working with me, or perhaps you've just decided that you can't access private coaching now for some whatever reason, but you know that where you are right now, there needs to be an insight. You need an insight. You need an understanding. You need to see something that you're not quite seeing. You need to clarify something that you can't yet, isn't just not yet clear, right? You want to understand yourself, see something about yourself, gain the insight that's going to change the game for you. These 1 hour sessions are £111 for an hour. And I know that you're going to be blown away by what we could get covered in an hour. We would jump on a call, we will laser focus in, and we will find the insight that opens up your eyes to the thing that when it shifts, it's like a kingpin. Like you handle this, massive gets handled. Miracles take place. If this is speaking to you any at all, if you are feeling like something needs to shift and I don't know what, if you're feeling like I'm not sure what I'm missing, or I'm ready for something else, I just can't put my finger on it, why don't you grab yourself one of these? I've made it like super accessible. I feel like I'm just giving it away, but intentionally so. My heart is intentionally so because I want you to experience ahas like I've been seeing happen today with my clients. So if this interests you, click the link, pay the £111. I'll send you a link to book your call and we will get your hour booked in and jump on a call and create ahas together, create insight together. Let's do it. See you later.